Hello. I am very excited to come back to just share something which I think is essential, especially in today's world where there are lots of cults masquerading as various things, coming out with different dangerous ideologies, um, which young people would look at as worthy causes for them to identify themselves, associate with. So yes, I want to talk about cults, the various cults that really are destroying people's lives. Cults generally would come masquerading as something fantastic, something that wants to do something good for humanity. But eventually, it's all a farce. It's all a lie. Some of the ways by which cults get people in is through lies, deception. There's a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of sugar-coated filth uh, to make appealing to people. Monies are offered as well. They could offer money, material things. They could lure people in by condemning other cults, making themselves look like, point out like, oh, look, they're doing that, but we're not. These cults assume that they have strength, they have power, they are popular. So they use that as well to make people come to them. Sometimes they point out some uniqueness in certain things, certain areas, which really do not mean anything when somebody takes the time to do further research on those things. Of course, like I said, they offer gifts, cash, and whatever people need. They're cloaked in deception. This is what a cult is. Sadly, some of them come masquerading as religion. A friend of mine ran into difficulties, financial difficulties, several years ago, and it was one of the world's largest debt cults that ran to his rescue by offers of money, and they invested in his business and brought it back to life. As I speak right now, that friend is still identifying as a member of that cult, but he's looking outside like a lost soul who had made the most grievous mistake of his life. He feels trapped, confused on how to get out. But of course, he can't. These cults usually look for, they go fishing, soul winning for the ignorant, the gullible, the weak-minded, people who are isolated from or estranged from their family, or they're rebelling against their family. They look for the young people who haven't learned a lot, who wouldn't be so inclined to research and find out more about these cults. Or they look for the old people as well, who have not got the time to invest in finding out more. They look generally for vulnerable people as their targets. Another thing, to keep the members, the adherents, those who have been trapped, the worshippers, the followers, or whatever, cults use threat. Threat. There are strict rules, policies, laws, practices, beliefs, whatever. They instill this fear on their members. They threaten them with violence, they do all sorts of things, or they promise them further nice things of life to keep them bound to their belief. They promise them protection against other groups or other cults. They give them reward to stay. They pay them to remain. And sometimes they threaten them to actually hurt them, the violence, or their loved ones. Eventually, They will accuse them of not being committed to the cause. If someone successfully exits any of these cults, they are usually declared as apostates who must not be allowed to go on living. They are described as renegades, deserters, defectors. They betrayed the cause, so they shouldn't keep their lives. Cults are known to have actually gone ahead to attempt on taking the lives of ex-members. I strongly believe that if a cause is authentic and truly set up for the betterment or improvement of humanity, there will be no need for force, for deception, lies, and all the various things mentioned here to be applied to enroll or retain members. If you're in doubt, let's compare Christianity today with the various cults around us. There is no Christian group anywhere that worries about people leaving. Rather, Christians carry on showing love, patience, kindness, and praying for those people, even those who come to hurt them. When we go through all the points that have been raised in this presentation, I hope that people will evaluate whatever causes, whatever groups, religious bodies they associate with, and decide whether they're in cults or not. Thank you for your time. I hope you learned something here, and I do hope that you're not in a cult. If you are, I'm praying that the Lord Jesus will show himself to you and help you find ways to break free from any cult that you have identified with. God bless you.